Good evening, guys. How are you doing? Long time no see. Yes, it's been a while since I've uploaded a YouTube video. Yeah, it's been a little crazy here. I've just been kind of, you know, busy. Well, not busy, just, things are just getting a little crazy around here. And, me and Hank are doing fine. I hope you all are doing okay. Yeah, 2 weeks ago, I uploaded some videos. Me and Hank went on a little road trip, and we were gonna go get something to eat, and we were gonna go drive up and see this lake that's a few miles up the road. And yeah, it's just a few miles up the road. It's a little, maybe an hour or so away, and I thought it would been open, so I wanted to go check it out and maybe get a bite to eat and go sit there and look at the lake. And me and Hank wanted a chance to get out of the house as we're tired of being cooped up in here. And here in California, we're still kind of, things are starting to open up a little bit slowly, but we're still kind of at a shutdown, and I still think the lakes and the parks are still closed. They opened up some of the beaches in LA and the southern part of California and maybe the central part, but I don't know all the beaches. I don't know if all of them are open or not. I know a few of them are, but anyway, yeah, me and Hank decided to take a little road trip last week and the week before and go up, get a bite to eat, go through the drive-through and get a burger or something, and then go and sit at the lake, look at the lake. And so we did just that, and we drove up to the produce market up there. So there's a produce market on the way, and we stopped there, got some fruit. Sometimes I like getting fruit there because it's better than getting the fruit at the grocery store, because the fruit at the grocery store seems to be more fresh. You don't have all those preservatives in it and stuff, and I don't know, it just seems, and I think you get it fresh from the farm where it came from. But anyway, they even have like homemade honey there, and I got a jar of honey there and some jellies, and that was really nice. So we decided to go up there and everything. And then a few days before we went on the road trip, I noticed that a lot of people were having to wear face masks going out and everything, and some places won't let you in unless you are wearing one, so everybody has to put one on before they go in the store. And I don't know. I think if you're sick, I'm wearing one, but if you're not sick, I don't think shouldn't have to wear one if we didn't want to. I think it should be optional. But anyway, I understand that it's important. We got to keep people safe. We don't want to get everybody sick or anything. I know if I'm sick, I'm going to stay home. I'm not going to go out and do that and everything. So yeah. So anyway, we went on the little road trip there, and we stopped to get something to eat. I was looking for first, before we headed out to the lake, we stopped at this truck stop, and I went in there and everything, and I wanted to get a soda because I was thirsty, and I seen this little dog park out there, and I thought, oh cool, I could take Hank out there because it was fenced in. You could go in and let your dog loose in there. But unfortunately, as I was thinking about it, I looked over there, somebody came out there with their dog, and they started running around in there. So yeah, I couldn't do that then, so I decided, I got my drink and everything, we took off. And yeah, I know my first video that I uploaded a few weeks ago, that was my very first YouTube video. Yeah, like I said, please bear with me because I'm still kind of new at this. When you're new, you're just trying to learn. I'm not very tech savvy or anything, but yeah, just bear with me. I might be moving around a little bit, or I'm just trying to get situated, but yeah, just bear with me. Yeah, and I appeared a little nervous at first, but I think the more videos I do, listeners. I'm prone to be a little shy and bashful, so yeah, just bear with me. I know there's a lot of YouTubers out there too. They're shy, and you know, this is their way of expressing themselves and talking to people. And I wanna do this videos too, to be able to talk to people, and I hope I can help them out in any way, shape, or form. You know. And like I said, that's what my videos are probably going to be about. You know, they're going to be about different things. You know, I don't know. When I started this channel, I wasn't sure how I was going to get it started. I wasn't a lot, you know, a lot of the videos that I watch on YouTube, a lot of them are news and political and everything. And I don't want to be that political, but maybe a little bit, but not a whole lot. I basically want to just focus on just, you know, talking, saying hi, talking about things, maybe sharing some of my experiences when I was in the military. I was also a truck driver for a little bit. I even took law enforcement training and worked as a security guard for many years. I've also was a probationary campus police officer at this one college in North Carolina. I'll talk about that later. But anyway, you know, and maybe in some of my videos I'll offer some advice. You know, I've done a lot of jobs, a lot of different things, and I maybe can talk about it, and maybe you guys can relate. I hope you can. Then I have a dog too. I love dogs and cats. I love animals, and a lot of people love animals. I know I see a lot of YouTubes, people film their dogs and their cats and their other animals, and that's great. And I would like to, you know, show videos of my dog too whenever he's, you know, in that. You have to get those see, with animals, you got to get them at that right time, you know, when they're doing something and something worth filming. You got to, you know, and I don't have I live by myself, so it's hard to have somebody to hold the camera while we're doing things in the house. A lot of YouTube videos, they show people in their house and they're doing things, and like kind of like a TV show kind of. But I kind of like to do that the more experience I get. But like I said, I don't have anybody living with me right now, so I can't, you know, do any filming or have anybody hold the camera while. I would like to do some cooking videos as well, you know, if anyone's interested. I love to cook. It's one of my favorite things, and I love to eat, and I love to sit and watch TV too. What's more better than to watch a good movie on TV and eat your favorite dinner? You know, that's great. I love that. And watch your favorite movie. And my dog's eating his dinner right now, so yeah. My first YouTube video, like I said, it's a little choppy, a little sloppy, and you know, I'm moving around a lot and everything, but I'm looking a little nervous in this video too. But the other video I did 2 weeks ago, I was in my car with Hank, and we went to the truck stop, and then we went to the produce market, and we were going to go, I was going to drive to the lake out there, and just past the lake there's a little another grocery produce place. It's real famous. It's called Casa de Frutas, and it's out there going toward the San Francisco Bay Area. And right now it's closed. It's closed down. I don't know when they're going to reopen, if they're going to reopen. I hope they reopen soon. I don't know. But it's a nice little place. It's got like several gift shops there, a wine tasting place, a little park in there, and they got kiddie rides, and they got I think a little pond out there, a lake where you go paddle boating, fishing, or whatever, canoeing. I don't know. I haven't really been out there. Like I said, I went there one time, and I went and ate in the restaurant, and I went in the produce market too. They have all kinds of dried fruits and candied fruits and fresh fruits there, and they're the ones where you go up to the bins and you shovel in how much, you know, and they charge a pound. And I think that's why they shut the place down, because due to the virus, they didn't want anybody going in there putting their hands in and shoveling in how much fruit or nuts they wanted, or I don't know how they're going to work that once they reopen. Now the gas station part, they have a store in there, a convenience store in there, and a deli. That's still open, and they still sell a lot of the stuff that they have in the main store in that little convenience store there. They still have the, you know, some of the fruit candies and the fruit in the gift bags and the wines. They even have wines in there, and you know, it's, you know, but it's the, you know, at the convenience store, it's a gas station. That was still open. But anyway, like I said, 2 weeks ago we went out there and I did a video, but as I was doing the video, it kept cutting off on me because my phone has very little memory on it, and my videos were kind of long. The road trip was kind of long, so it kept cutting off on me. So I had to keep stopping the video. So I'm gonna upload it, but I need to keep it. I had to do it in segments and sequences. So I have to figure out which sequence. You have to, you know, I want to do the videos in order because I had to keep shutting them off, and they kept shutting off on me. So yeah, I'm just still trying to learn. I want to get them all in. I think I did like 3 or 4 videos that one day during that one trip, and it was a long, kind of a long trip. It's a couple hours, and I know that we're only supposed to go out to the grocery store and everything, but I think we're allowed to go get something to eat. You know, go in the drive-through window, and some of the drive-in restaurants, they're open. They have, you know, the Sonic drive-in, and you can sit there and eat in your car, and you can sit in, I think there's this place in Clovis, California. It's a drive-in restaurant too, they sell all kinds of different foods and everything, and it's like the 50s. You go in and you can order a hot dog, you can order a hamburger, grilled cheese sandwich. You got these big, nice grilled cheese sandwiches. They're big, and they have the sourdough bread. It's big, and then the chili dogs are really big too. They put a lot of chili on it and cheese, and you know, and it's really good too. You have to eat it with a fork because it's kind of messy. But anyway, yeah, I had to do it. But it was fun sitting in our car and eating. Got a chance to get out and everything. And we're still allowed to do that. And I don't see any harm in driving. And we just drove. And what's harm in driving, you know? So we drove out there. But as we were going out there, I noticed people were parking their vehicles, and they were getting out and walking because they have the entrances of the lakes shut down still. You couldn't go in there. But people were still parking alongside the road, getting out and walking in the lake. I noticed that. And I did notice some tow trucks going in too there. And I don't know if they were towing people's cars were broke down, or they were towing vehicles because they weren't supposed to be parking there. But I don't know. It's not. They weren't parked illegally. You know how when you're driving up in the mountains, and sometimes they have those little overlook places where it's a little parking lot there. You pull over and you get out and you take a picture or whatever, and that's what they were parking at. People were parking over there, and they have a barbed wire fence there, so to keep you from going out and walking any further, because I don't think you're supposed to just get out and look and take pictures. You're not supposed to get out and walk over there toward the lake or whatever. It's just an overlook. But I noticed tow trucks. I went to the lake twice. Like last week I drove out there, and the week before I drove out there, and I noticed they had the tow trucks out there twice. Out there, and I think they were towing. At first I thought maybe their cars were broke down. People had their vehicles broke down. They go, no, I don't think so. I think the police were towing those vehicles, and because they didn't want people going there and parking and getting out and walking, because technically the lakes are supposed to be closed. I think it's crazy. I wish they'd open up the lakes. You know, some of the beaches, and they open up the beaches. They allow you to go to the grocery store. You're allowed to go. You go to the restaurant, but you go through the drive-through. But the drugstore, you can still go to the drugstore. and you're putting your hands on everything inside the store, and yet you got to wear a mask and everything. I don't know this mask stuff, how that really helps, you know, the virus, but I guess it helps some. But anyway, I'll get into that later. But yeah, it doesn't make any sense that they have to close the beaches down or close the lakes down in the parks, and yet they still allow the beaches, but then they turn around and shut them down when they're saying they're crowding, when the beaches are getting too crowded. They want us to do this social distancing stuff, and I was like, that's crazy. How are you gonna? The point I'm trying to make is, you know, we've been on shutdown since March, and it's getting, people are getting cabin fever. They want to get out. The weather's starting to get warmer. Spring is coming and summer's coming, and people want to get out. They want to get out and enjoy the beach. They want to get out and enjoy the outdoors, and they don't want to be cooped up inside their home. And I think being out in the sunlight and being out in the sunshine and being active, it's more healthy. I think it would help benefit than, you know, it might help make people feel better. You know, they're all afraid that, oh, we're going to get sick, we're going to catch the virus, it's in the air, it's in the, you know, I don't know. I just think that, you know, the sunlight helps. And the heat, I think heat too, it kills some viruses from what I'm told. You know, you don't see a lot of sick people in the summertime or in the winter, in the springtime maybe, allergies and stuff. I see a lot of people getting allergies and stuff because the change of the weather, there's pollen in the air because the trees and the plants are blossoming, the flowers, and you get the pollen and everything, and that can cause people to have respiratory problems. And you know, but the summertime, I've never heard of anybody getting sick like that, getting the flu or in the summertime. In weather changes, yeah, people get sick because the weather, you know, your body's having to adjust to, you know, the change of the weather, the hot air and the cold air. So yeah, but yeah, man, I was out riding around and they're towing vehicles out there, and I'm like, and I don't know if the vehicle, like I said, I don't know why they were towing the vehicles, if people's vehicles were breaking down or they were actually towing them because they weren't supposed to be there. Boy, I'd sure hate it for them people if that was the case, if they happen to be walking from the lake and come up and their car is gone. You know, and they're, what the heck? Where's my car? We parked here. Yeah, and they were towing them. So, I don't know. I'm hoping that maybe their vehicles were broke down. I don't know. But then again, nothing surprises me in this day and age, the way things are going. I'm hearing people getting arrested certain places just for, I heard a guy, he got ticketed, arrested just because he was parked looking at the beach with his daughter. He had his daughter with him. It was his birthday, and they were driving around, and you know, they wanted to pull over and look at the beach, and then the guy was playing basketball with his son. The cop ticketed him, saying you can't be outside and be doing that. You need to practice social distancing or whatever. He's shooting basketball hoops with his son. How is that, you know, keeping people from being spread? How is that spreading a virus? I don't know. Playing basketball, and you know, you're not. I can see if you're wrestling or something. You're here. There's Hank. Hank's got his toy with him. He wants some attention. Yeah, guys who are wrestling, you're in close contact. I can see, but you're shooting a basketball, you know, in basketball hoops in your backyard. How is that, you know, gonna spread something to make somebody sick? I don't know. And they were home. They were in their front yard. They weren't, you know, out, you know, up close. They didn't have 20 million people in their party and they're close together. They weren't in a big crowd or anything. So yeah, yeah. But anyway, we went out there, and as we were leaving town, we were coming back into town into Los Banos. Los Banos, that's a weird name. It's a Spanish name, and in some terms it means the bathroom, but I think where it got its name was, I asked a guy, he was one of our Spanish teachers, and he said that, well, Banos means bathing, and too, so there, I think a long time ago in that town there was a lake. It was a big stopover for people. There is a reservoir outside of Los Banos. Just like I said, that was the lake we were going to, and we went there. And like I said, in that town, you have people in that town. Like I said, years ago in that town, there were, I think it was a stopover, and people go and swim. They go swimming there in the lake and everything, go fishing. And that's where they get the name from, Banos, bathing. You know, it's a big bathing, a big swimming area there, and that's where people go. But I don't think it's there anymore. It may be dried up, or they filled it in, or but there's the reservoir a few miles out of town, and that's probably where that might be, where they got the name from. But I think that the reservoir is man-made. And I think PG&E, Pacific Gas and Company, you know, they run it. And it's the state of California, so it's a state park, but I think it's still closed. I think all of the haven't been opened up yet. I wish they would open up, because me and Hank would like to go to the lake one day and go out walking around and stuff. And I like to get him trained. Yeah, I like to get him trained, so he doesn't get crazy around other dogs. And another thing I'd like to do too is, I bought a new kayak, and I wanted to go kayaking also this past week, and I was supposed to go with a friend of mine, and that I guess he wasn't feeling well, so he changed his mind at the last minute, so we didn't get to go. So I was a little disappointed with that. So yeah, we didn't get to go on the kayak trip. Plus I think the lakes are closed still anyway, so he wouldn't have been able to go anyway. So like I said, I wish they'd open up soon, and when they do, that's when we'll get a chance to go. Me and Hank will get to go. And I'd like to save up for a boat. I'd like to get a boat, like a John boat or something, or a little fish boat. That way, Hank could fit on there, and it'd be bigger, and we can go. I don't think Hank could fit on the kayak, because it's too... I guess he could, but I'd have to train him and get him used to it, and I'm afraid he'd fall off, and he'd flip the thing over, and we'd get flipped over and everything. That would be fun. But yeah, that'd be nice if we'd get to go. They could take the kayak out there. There's some neat places, even in near the beach, near the Central Coast. I like to go where Morro Bay is, in Cayucas. That's the little beach out there. The beaches out there. I like to go out there, and I think there's some neat places. There's some little inlets, some little streams and rivers and stuff to go, or lakes to go out there, and really nice places you can go kayaking. Oop. There's also some caves, and that'd be kind of neat to go kayaking in those little cave-like things. That'd be kind of fun to go in there and stuff. But yeah, I don't know when they're gonna open them up, but that would be fun once they open those places back up. But yeah, I uploaded a video going on a road trip, and I'm probably going to upload those in a couple of days or so, once I figure out how to, and I'm waiting on getting my internet back. I gotta wait for another week or so before I get my money saved up so I can pay my internet bill, so I get my internet turned back on. Right now it's turned off. I don't have enough money to, I paid all my bills, so I'm broke right now. And I got, you know, so my internet's turned off right now, so yeah. My dog's laying on the couch with me. He's playing with his chew toy. So yeah, I think, you know, so yeah, we had our nice little road trip, and as we were heading back into Los Banos, we noticed that the main street, the police had it blocked off, and I couldn't tell if it's a lot of times they have them blocked off due to accidents and stuff when they have wrecks or whatever, or a gas leak or something, a water spill, you know, anything. So they had the road blocked off, but they had the whole, oh, what is it? Hey, why are you crying? He's crying. Poor thing. He's laying on my couch, and he gets that way sometimes. He gets bored. You know, he start whimpering, hoo, 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 you know, wants his mama's attention. But yeah, they had the road blocked off. I was driving down, and I made a turn, tried to turn around, and I went around this one street, and I couldn't get out. And I got mad and everything. So I finally turned, and I got on this other street heading, it took me off the main road, and so I ended up in the neighborhood, and I'm hoping to go find another street that runs parallel to it, so it would take me back near where the main highway was, heading out of town. And I kind of knew where they had it blocked off for a whole 2-3 blocks. They had it blocked off, and then finally I made it toward one of the streets, and we had to cut in through the neighborhood. We had to cut through the housing where all these people were living at in their houses and stuff, and driving through, and it was traffic backing up and everything. And then we finally got back right on the main road, and luckily the traffic light, we were there, and we were still seeing, I finally made it, how do I describe it? It's just past the roadblock. I was able to turn and get back on the highway, and as I turned, I looked over to my right, that they just a few feet away, they had a convenience store there in the traffic light, and that part was blocked off. So I just made it barely past that little roadblock there to turn, and I seen a bunch of code enforcement people out there with the police. So I'm thinking, what in the world? Why do they have that whole entire street blocked off, the main, all the way from heading out of town to coming into town? So I'm thinking maybe they're trying to keep people from coming through the town. You know, they have code enforcement out there, and usually code enforcement shows up when, you know, at a building or a place where it's not safe, your building's not safe, or it's hazardous, or you may have I'm thinking gas leak, but when I seen there was no I didn't see any fire trucks, I didn't see any you know, utility trucks out there. I didn't see any PG&E trucks out there, so I don't think there was a gas leak. I'm thinking they were trying to keep people from coming through, driving through town, from out of town. And they were directing people to go the alternate way. Go away. Don't go through here. Go back to where you came from, or turn around, or go and take another route. So they were rerouting people, and I'm thinking, you know, I didn't see anything that looked like a wreck, I didn't see anything that looked like any, road hazards or down power line or nothing. It was just crazy. So yeah, it's getting really crazy out there. It really is. While we were riding around, we found out that, people are starting, I look at the news sometimes on the internet, and I see all these crazy stories. I even watch stuff on YouTube as well. They have news stories on YouTube from news outlets that post on YouTube videos. I'm getting situated here. But yeah, here's my dog. He's looking out the window again. He hears things, so he's checking things out. Anyway, getting back to my story, yeah, people are acting crazy. They're going, you go to a restaurant, they're getting in fights with people. This here in Fresno, we had a restaurant open up, and it was Mother's Day, and people were standing in line, and they were waiting to eat, and he did everything. He practiced social distancing. He only would let a few people in at a time, and you're wearing masks and being clean, and then the police show up, and I guess this family who were standing there the police wanted them to move so he could go into the restaurant and tell the guy he's got to shut down. He can't be open. And the couple that were there, I'm not moving. The guy was like, I'm not moving. And boy, they got into it. And I thought it was a regular police officer. Then I was listening to the news, and it said no, it was a code enforcement officer. So, and then they called the police, and the police came out there, and